Ladies and gents, we are live. We've got two people in here, so we are right on time, 8 p.m. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you're at in the world. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We are going to be talking about the crypto markets, folks, and why they are pumping. I don't think that this is necessarily a bear trap or bull trap or any of that. I do think that we are seeing some well overdue price action, and maybe we're seeing a little bit of market recovery here. Let's just dive right into it. We can see the charts. Now, this is the top 300 for the day. Looks like we got some great runners. New up 50%. MC, never heard of it. Nervos Networks up 1.2% on the day, 25% on the week. So that's super cool. I'm not seeing ICP in here at all, but it's probably just in one of these smaller bubbles I can't really see. But let's just jump. Is this it right here? Is this it right here? No. Let's just jump right into it. First and foremost, show me your coins that you want me to check out in the live stream, in the live chat. Also, please, folks, subscribe, smash that like button. I truly appreciate it more than you know. We're going to kick things off with Cardano, folks. And Cardano hasn't really been doing anything too spectacular on the daily the last few days. As everything's been kind of rallying, Cardano's just kind of back to where it was. Let's look at this at a super high level on the 4-hour chart here. Once again, thank you all for being here tonight. Cardano did get a super crazy wick to the upside on the 4-hour chart on the 9th. However, Cardano is still kind of stuck in this downward trend. So hopefully Cardano, after coming all the way back down to the bottom of this falling wedge, which is what you guys are seeing here. This is a super mega falling wedge. And why is it a super mega falling wedge? Well, this thing started really April, May of 2022. So really, this is a good 6-8 month long pattern that we're seeing. This is very good. Looks like we got Willie in the chat, Movie Block, and RSR. Let me know what the ticker is for Movie Block. I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, here's Cardano, folks. I do think that Cardano right now, there's a chance that we might see a little bit of rebounding. This is the 4-hour chart. So we are getting a spinning top here. Usually a good indication that the price action is getting ready to reverse. Here's some just prime examples of this. Spinning tops, we're seeing spinning tops here, spinning tops here. So I do think that the price action is a little bit too far away from the Ichimoku cloud. Cardano is just kind of in this weird trading pattern right now, and we are seeing quite the aggressive symmetrical triangle squeeze. So this thing is primed here. All right, Willie, we'll check that out. And you guys can kind of see that there is this symmetrical triangle pattern. So I do think that Cardano has a chance to maybe bump back up to this 38-cent level. Let's just look at Cardano on the 1-hour chart. We're going to take a peek at this on the daily as well. Yeah, I would think that Cardano, man, it's got a shot at 38 cents. If it can keep rallying, 41 cents. I want to just look at Cardano because I know a lot of people. Let me know in the comments or in the live chat if you guys are holding Cardano. I want to know how many of you guys are holding Cardano. Right now on the weekly, I mean, you guys can see this falling wedge. This is super bullish. Ajax, we'll look at that one here in just a second. So, I mean, we got this huge falling wedge. I am thinking that Cardano, man, is going to break through this Ichimoku cloud. And we've got an opportunity come the end of February, early February, somewhere in that neighborhood. And that is what it is. Let's just scoot on over to the next one. We're not looking at FTT, not looking at Tesla. We got Solana. Let me know if you guys are holding Solana in the chat. You know, Solana had a crazy little ABCDE corrective wave really since the all-time highs in November of 2021. And we are seeing Solana kind of rally again. So with that said, I do think that we might see price action come up for Solana and maybe reach for this 50 moving average on the weekly charts, folks. I just do. Let's look at this on the daily. We got Victor in the house. We got Jay Watson in the house. Willie, thanks for being here, everyone. I truly appreciate all of you. So here we got the daily. Solana's in this very, very interesting situation. Everybody that watches this channel knows how big of a fan I am of the Ichimoku cloud trading. Whenever we see price action get above the Ichimoku cloud, this is seen as a bullish sign. And I'll just show you guys this. Here's an example of when price climbs above this Ichimoku cloud. Boom, it was off to the races. This was a lot of manipulation by FTX. Keep that in mind. But once we fall below the cloud, it's more bearish. So the fact that Solana, I'm not holding any Solana or anything like that, is positioning itself over the next few days. So Solana could really just kind of take a dive like this, maybe pull off a little bull flag, because we've got a great bull flag pull here. We are still above this Ichimoku cloud. So this is super bullish. I think as long as Solana doesn't reject down, below this cloud, we should be good. But right now, Solana, my prediction, we're going to see some sort of pennant formation because we got the flag. And I do think that we are going to see Solana come up and touch at least this $27-ish level. I just do. It is what it is. I mean, we do have a little bit of Elliott wave theory momentum to the upside, but we might get one more burst of action over the next few days. Let's move on to Crow. Crow. How many of you guys are holding Crow? A while back, I threw up this Gone Fan on Crypto.com. And it's been a while since I've revisited this Crow chart. It's been a minute, as they would say. But we saw Crow squeeze into this descending triangle. When I threw up this Fibonacci time sequence, it damn near predicted Crypto.com would pull a reversal on January 2nd, and it did perfectly. So the next date, if you're holding Crypto.com, January 26th, and this is a very interesting situation. I do think that Crypto.com is standing, because this is a bull flag here, bull pennant. So I do think that Crypto.com does stand a chance to reach back up to this 10-cent level. And I do think that this could happen right around January 26th. So we could see a little bit of mingling to the upside here, right up to this 200 moving average. So that would be pretty cool to see. I'm interested to see what the fibs are telling me about this level. So if this does come up to the 200, okay, so we'd be at the 227, common point for reversals, alongside the 127. We got 12 people in here. Show your coins in the chat, and we will get to it. By the way, folks, check out this book. It's by BitBoy Crypto. It's called Catching Up to Crypto. It's like $15-16. You can get it on Amazon. I'm only about like 3 chapters into it, but it is like a crazy book. And I found myself really relating to his situation quite a bit. So if you're like just getting into crypto the last couple of years, like since 2020, man, it's going to make you feel like you're not going through all this bear market stuff alone. This guy, let me tell you, is something else. He was struggling to put food on the table back in 2020. 2021 bull market took care of him quite well. It's a fascinating book. But here, we're looking at Cadena. Cadena, man. I like Cadena. Somebody was blowing me up on Twitter the other day, and they said, oh, you like you like CKB and you like ICP. You know, what about Cadena? You never talk about Cadena. And I talk about Cadena all the time on this channel. Nobody, this dude, I don't talk about it a whole lot on Twitter or what have you, but it is what it is. So Cadena, I like Cadena. I just do. I do think that Cadena, really, man, we could be seeing this very nice ascending triangle that is forming. I am seeing a little bit of Elliott wave theory happening on the charts for Cadena. So with that said, we're going to just map this out. We've got very clear as day Elliott wave theory. So I do think that Cadena, man, oh man, I do think that there is this shot. We could see Cadena just come right up to this 200 moving average, about $1.33. But if this price kind of, bear with me, oh my goodness here. Oh my goodness. I am going wild in TradingView. If we see Cadena really kind of drip back down, which would be fine. If we see Cadena kind of drip back down, it's going to be okay because we are above the Ichimoku cloud at this point. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to clear this entire chart. And really, what I love to preach on this channel is that, here's the deal. We're going to go to full screen for 1 second. What I love to preach on this channel to aspiring traders or people that are looking to become successful traders, and I nail quite a bit of my trades. I'll lose some, but it's kind of rare because I'm very picky about when I choose to trade. Now, here's the deal. When we are looking, folks, at a chart just like this, I want you guys to look at this. What do you see? What do you see? Do you see that ascending triangle that I was just pointing out? Or are you thinking ahead? Okay, let's just say we get this awesome, beautiful ascending triangle that maybe fills out. What else are we looking at here? This is the beauty, folks. The ability to really think ahead is what is going to separate you from some of the best traders in the entire world. Because the people that can forward think these markets are the people that end up winning. It's like being able to look further in. It's like being able to look further into the distance than the next guy. It is what it is. So we could be seeing this inverse head and shoulders that's happening. We don't know until we see the markets, but I would expect this price action, like I was just saying, Elliott wave theory to the upside, or we could get this inverse head and shoulders. Some people might take that as a cup and handle. Let's go on to, we already did ADA. Did we do ADA? Yeah, we did ADA. Here's Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. How many of you guys are holding Bitcoin? Let me know in the live chats. I'm genuinely interested. I'm kind of on again, off again Bitcoin, folks. If you guys don't know my story, so I ended up buying Bitcoin when it was at $6. And I bought 200 Bitcoin. And really, I kick myself about this. I really do. Because at the time, I was a broke college kid, right? And we're looking at maxing out a Wells Fargo credit card just to afford these 200 Bitcoin, which cost me roughly like $1,200, somewhere in that neighborhood. And so here's the deal. Bitcoin went up like $1 or $2, and I made like $300 or $400. And I was just like, damn, I sold it all because I was a broke college kid, right? And I wasn't concerned about the future of Bitcoin. And that's my Bitcoin story. This is kind of what I'm feeling right now with Bitcoin. The last live stream I did, which was last week, well before this latest pump, here I am looking forward into the future, thinking, okay, we might be seeing Bitcoin get ready to pull an inverse head and shoulders, folks. And really, here's why I think this. Because we got this 50 moving average coming down on the 200 moving average. And I do think that price is really going to bind up at 25,000 on Bitcoin. And then I think we might see a little bit of a retracement. And like I said, oh my goodness, folks. Oh my gosh, I am butchering up the charts right now. Like I said, the last live stream, folks, I think we've got an alleyway for price action. In addition, what if we are seeing a bigger head and shoulders pattern that is forming on Bitcoin? It could be happening. It really could. If you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. I promise you, I am one of the better traders out there, for sure. So here we've got a very classic, folks. This is a very classic, this, I'm not sure that I want to get into this theory until we see another rally. I think we're going to put that theory I have away for just a second. But here is Ethereum. We've got Ethereum here, folks, and I've been super kind of bearish on Ethereum. I like it, but I don't, I think Ethereum is kind of like this huge barrier to entry simply because of the gas fees. Another thing I don't like about it, people that are staking their ETH currently have no way to unstake it. That's a problem. That's why I'm not messing with it right now. But we got a huge all-time rising wedge, and price action left this rising wedge back in November. And now we are seeing a retest of this trend line here. This is stuff that nobody else is going to be showing you because nobody else can break these charts down like I can, folks. There's only a couple other people out there that maybe could. So with that said, here is Ethereum, folks. It's going to climb up to this 50 moving average, maybe up to around maybe this $1,800 level if it can really break back into this channel. If Ethereum can break back into this channel and succeed, oh boy, my goodness, that's going to be crazy. But this thing is squeezing so bad that it's going to take a couple days before we know if it rejects at this trend line. So that's where Ethereum is at, and that is the state of Ethereum. So if you see Ethereum starting to kind of wander back down to 1,380 or lower, that means we've lost this 200 moving average on the weekly. So it is what it is. Somebody's asking me, Dave Country Boy, thanks for joining. This next bull market, what is your price on ICP? We'll get into that in just a second, folks. But I am super bullish, folks, on CKB, Nervos Network. This was one of the crypto projects that I really first got involved with back in February of 2021. So I have been covering CKB for almost 2 years now. So I'm super bullish on CKB. Simply because they've got a great team. They're kind of taking their time when it comes to kind of building out their blockchain. It's very cool to see some of the stuff that they've accomplished. The other thing I like about it, folks, is that I can mine it. I've got 5 miners. I got 5 miners running mining CKB. So we're going to do CKB here really quick. Again, with the forward thinking stuff, folks, I do think we're going to see CKB come right up to around this 5.5 cent level, currently trading at 0.003275. I never thought we would see this thing dip down to 0.002-ish. But I do think that we are kind of seeing this inverse head and shoulders, which I haven't drawn this. I drew this the last time I did my TA. It looks like things are panning out perfectly. But on the greater grand scheme of things, what are we seeing with Nervos? Well, we could be seeing some sort of crazy inverse head and shoulders to the upside. So this area, if that plays out, is one of the better areas to be buying in. It just is. So I'm super bullish on CKB. That's the weekly chart. Here's Dogecoin, folks. Dogecoin. Let me know in the comments if you're holding Dogecoin. I want to see how many of you degens are out there holding Dogecoin. Is it a good crypto? I don't know. You guys got to tell me this stuff, man. Dogecoin. This is the last TA I did on Dogecoin. On the weekly, we are seeing this 50 moving average come down to KISS. And this is a French KISS, the 200 moving average. Last time I covered Doge, I said, watch out. We could be seeing a cup and handle happen here. If that does happen, we are going to see Doge just absolutely take off. Not financial or trading advice, but we're seeing a cup and handle form right now on Dogecoin. I do think that there's a chance we could see this come back up to the 15-cent level. At that point, guess what? We've also got an inverse head and shoulders. Super, super, super duper bullish. Ergo. We'll just cover this one briefly. Next few weeks, I'm expecting Ergo come up and hit this $2.50 level. Ergo is interesting. It's got an awesome thin part of the Ichimoku cloud that it could easily pass through. I mean, this is one that I've been keeping my eye on. It had highs of $20 the last bull run. Very interesting. Classic ABC, DE corrective wave that happened. Now we're looking for this run up like this. And we'll move on to, let's look at the total crypto market cap. Then we're going to look at ICP, and then we're going to look at some of these projects that you guys have thrown down in the live chat. Show me your coins that you're holding, your most degen plays. Folks, I want to hear it. Now, I absolutely got crucified about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I threw this chart up on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, hit me up at real 6 figs. You'll find me. Subscribe to this channel, folks. You get this excellent technical analysis on the daily. This is the total crypto market cap. And people think that I'm crazy, right? Now, when I go down and throw a Fibonacci time sequence here, and we pinpoint this bottom, which I pinpointed this bottom weeks ago. I said, watch, this is the bottom. And for now, but if this is truly the bottom, we get another Fibonacci time sequence that is pinpointing extreme volatility or a reversal point on February 19th, the week of 2024. So are we going to be experiencing this type of bull run from here? And you might be kind of looking at this like, oh my God, this dude is freaking nuts. But you know where I got this little clone of candles from? The 2021 run. So this is very possible that we could be seeing some sort of massive short squeeze here in the markets. So this is very interesting. I'm going to keep my eye closely on this, and we could be seeing a $7 trillion market cap. Briefly, think about that. We're seeing a $1 trillion market cap right now in the crypto markets. It's a 7x from here. Really, it's not that much. Let's get on to ICP here. As you guys know, ICP holds a very special place in my heart. ICP, back last April, I was fortunate enough to get into the ICP grants program, the community grants program, to help build crypto content on YouTube and everywhere else. And so this opportunity that I took in the bear market has absolutely changed my entire life. My future is changed because of ICP. I was one of the people that found out, actually, I'm the guy that found out that FTX was printing fake coins. and they were selling them to people. And they were doing this in a lot of cases with the perpetual futures charts. So I can remember when I first found out about that, I was able to hand over all the information. I made a bunch of videos on this, and nobody believed me. And then FTX fell, and I had all these videos out saying, hey, FTX has been crooked for like the last year. And then BitBoy Crypto, I was lucky enough to kind of get hooked up with him and feed him the information, all the research that I had done on FTX, which him and his team then went down all these other rabbit holes to really put the screws to FTX. So that's my story. I mean, and without ICP, we may never have exposed any of that. So that's one of the reasons this holds a very dear spot in my heart. It's changed my life. So we got this red conversion line trading horizontally. We got the baseline trading horizontally. This is great. We're going to be watching for this conversion line to start arcing upwards. And then we're really going to see the price of ICP really start to rocket. And if you think that the price of ICP has been interesting the last couple of days, just wait. Just wait. I do think that once we start to see this tick upwards, this conversion line, we are going to see ICP really roar, maybe up to this $7-8-ish level. I do think we could be gearing up to see some resistance for this 50 moving average. Somebody just says, give SBF a cheeseburger. Oh, man. Well, I can say I might give him some soap on the rope. And before I send him the soap on the rope, I'm going to take a scissors and I'm going to cut the rope. And I hope he drops it. I hope he drops that soap, folks. I hope none of I mean, that's pretty bad of me to say. But I'll stoop to that level after what he did. So right now, folks, I'm hoping that we get ICP. I'm hoping ICP has enough juice to really push through this Ichimoku cloud and start to climb. Now, somebody in the comments was saying, I believe it was Dave Countryboy, this next bull market, what is your price on ICP? Okay, so assuming that we are in a bull market from here, because really the only way we're going to know is in hindsight, meaning months from now, a year from now. But if I had to take my best guess, folks, at what ICP could possibly reach, it gets very complicated. Simply because the launch, which you don't see, started out, they launched ICP. Many people don't know this. They were going to launch ICP at $80. FTX started its manipulative futures trading before the launch, and they bid the price all the way up here on the FTX exchange. And then once ICP launched, FTX turned their market maker off and just let ICP kind of free fall. So this area here was very highly manipulated. And the fact that on FTX's exchange, you couldn't buy spot ICP. And what I'm getting at here is this chart, even though we got a good, clear picture of all the candles and stuff like that, this chart, was highly manipulated by FTX, probably all the way down until they crashed. Like I said, you could not buy spot ICP on the FTX exchange, but you could short it to death, and you couldn't cover because you didn't have spot. So this is interesting. One of the more natural price ranges for ICP that I tend to look at is this $88-ish level. And we're looking at prices on the KuCoin exchange. So I like to draw a little fib here on this. And I do think that ICP, you guys gotta remember, ICP, tokens can become unlocked. It's somewhat inflationary, just like a lot of other chains, Cardano, things like that. Last time I checked, it had like a 2%, was it on the month or something like that? I can't remember. Anyways, I'm hoping that we get to see ICP come up to this $86-ish level. I'm hoping. And if that does happen, I'm hoping that maybe we see a move up to the 61.8. And I'm thinking like, man, this is a very, very loaded question. And when I think of ICP in terms of like market cap and price, we're at $1.4 billion. When we look at like Cardano, the last bull run, Cardano hit a 100 billion market cap. So let's just say ICP comes in at half of that. So let's just go 50 billion. There we go. So we got 50 billion divided by, what are we at? 1.4 billion right now. I believe that's the market cap of ICP. I can just check my phone to make sure that we're doing some accurate mathematics. How about that? About 1.5 billion. So that's an important number. We're just going to change this to 1.5 bill. Okay. And so that's a 33x from here. Times that by 5.25. So if ICP hits a $50 billion market cap this next run, we could be looking at $175 ICP based on the current token economics that are present right now. So that's interesting. So I personally have a target of 135 to 150. I'm going to be taking some profit around those levels. But look at this. This is ICP. This is ICP all-time weekly chart. In ICP right now, the relative strength index is at 35 points. This thing hasn't even gotten the chance to run up to 80-90%. Oh, thanks, Willie. Big shout out to Willie Harvey. I do appreciate that $5. Not necessary, but yeah, I definitely appreciate it. We'll be going over some other coins here. Eric Scott, we just did CKB, but if you want to hang around, we'll hit CKB here in just a second. But we got ICP. I'm just saying, this thing, we got a little ascending triangle here. And this thing's off to the races. So I'm really, on this weekly chart, I'm really hoping to see ICP somewhere up in here. And man, I'm hoping that we get to see some of these high prices for ICP for my own greed. All right. So let's just take a quick peek at Bitcoin again. And there's something that I want to show you guys. For those of you that are new to this live stream, folks, big shout out to all 18 of you guys here. Tales from the Crypto, we just did Crow, but if you hang around, we'll cover CKB and Crow again right at the end. I want to really share this with you guys. And it's very important that you guys know this. When we look at Bitcoin, right? What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin represents about half of the total crypto market cap, right? But when we look at Bitcoin and when we're looking for these patterns, and this is going to be something that's going to open your eyes up, what I'm about to tell you next. And nobody else is talking about this except for me. And I've been talking about this for months and months and months. Everybody's been so confused. Is the bottom in? Is the bottom in, folks? I'm going to show you something that's going to change your life. So when we look at all these patterns that I have been showing you throughout this analysis that I've done tonight, we have seen a lot of falling wedges happen. And the falling wedge is one of the most bullish patterns that I love to play, especially on these longer weekly, daily time frames. And I like to see these falling wedges span out over months and months and months. This is a falling wedge. And when we go back, and I'm going to be showing you guys some historical examples right now and then we're going to compare it to where we're at right now. And you're going to go, holy shit. But we saw 2014, 2013 bull run cap out for Bitcoin at about a G, right? Price went into this bearish bear market. And I'm going to kind of adjust this chart so you can see it a little bit better. Price went bear. RSI formed a falling wedge, folks. Formed a falling wedge. What happened here? The next time price ran up. Well, we got price to go way up, but we got the same thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. We got the same damn thing. A falling wedge. And you can see how this price history just keeps on repeating. Where are we at right now, folks? I bet you guys right now can see this falling wedge without me even drawing this up, because you guys are smart enough to know about this stuff if you're watching this channel. That's why it's so important that you subscribe and smash that like button. So here we are. We've got another falling wedge. Bingo. I'm hoping we get to see some Bitcoin move. That's where I'm at with that. We're going to be covering some of the coins in the live chat now. We got about 23 minutes. I'm going to keep this to an hour. But we're going to start in order. So we won't do CKB just yet. But we had Willie at the very beginning want RSR. So we're going to look at RSR. I'm not familiar with RSR. But this looks like we have a beautiful ABCDE corrective wave. And this looks like this has played out textbook. So I'm hoping that the bottom is in for RSR. Consequently, there is a very, bear with me here. We are going to just throw up this RSI. There is a very, very clear neckline for possibly an inverse head and shoulders. I don't know anything about this project, folks. I am just doing a little technical analysis on it. We are looking at this on the weekly charts, right? So the weekly charts, it's going to take a little bit of time for these prices to move. We'll look at this on a daily here in just a second. Here's RSR. But I do think that RSR, let's look at this on a daily. I'm not liking the way, okay. So RSR, yeah. So RSR on the daily is trying to breach through this Ichimoku cloud. This is kind of a thicker portion of the Ichimoku cloud. I would have rather seen it try to pass through this area here, and perhaps it might jump back down to this 50 moving average. And when we look at a few different things, this is where I want you guys to really tune in your senses here. What's the RSI? What's the relative strength index doing? Well, it's really approaching this overbought area, 80, 90 points. So I am seeing the potential that if we see a dip happen, we could see price come back down to this 50 moving average and maybe form this inverse head and shoulders, quite possibly. This would also be like a cup and handle. This might be the momentum it needs to get its ass up to this 200 moving average at 0.00 or a half a cent. So that's my prediction right now on this. It almost looks like there's a little Elliott wave theory. We're just going to break this down on the 4-hour chart, and then we're moving on to the next one. Okay. This is complicated. Man, I'm really struggling to find any Elliott wave theory in here. So just keep that in mind with RSR. I do think there's a chance that we could see it kind of priming right now. We're going to look at AJIX next. Somebody was asking for AJIX earlier, and shill your favorite coin in the comments. So the last time we did technical analysis on AJIX, I was telling everybody, hey, we got a symmetrical triangle squeeze, and we need to wait and be patient to see which way the price action is going. And as you guys can see, these blue lines, and this is stuff people don't talk about. People don't talk about this. This is why you need to subscribe to this channel. Because I'm telling you guys exact dates down to the hour in some cases when price action's either going to pull a reversal or you're going to see some increased volatility. And when I throw down Fibonacci time sequence, which a lot of people just can't understand it. But Fibonacci is just this mathematical equation where, the Fibonacci spiral, everything, you should look it up on Google. I'm not even going to try to explain this. But when we throw up a Fibonacci time sequence, what it does is it tells us when we can expect some serious volatility. We got a Fibonacci time sequence right here. Predicted a reversal down to within 4 hours. Same thing right here. Predicted a reversal point here. So price came up, reverse to the downside. Well, what's happening? Let's see here. Right now, price came up. It got stopped. Price kind of reversed and went sideways and dumped. So right now, well, here's another example. Price reversed at this point. So you guys get the idea, right? Now that we've got this price going absolutely parabolic on AGIX, go into your phone and type in February, Tuesday, the 7th. Type in AGIX, Fibonacci time sequence. Look for increased volatility or a reversal. Now, I'm hoping what we see with AGIX is something like this, and we see some sort of corrective wave up by this damn, I can't believe I'm about to say that, up by that $5-ish range. Again, I know nothing about this project as well, so bear with me here. We're just going to pull up a daily or a 12-hour chart. But this thing is mooning. This thing is absolutely mooning. So yeah, we're seeing this time sequence. Okay, on the 12-hour chart, let's get down to the daily. We're going to get down to the daily on this one. This time sequence seems to be kind of hopping around. Saturday, January 21st with AGIX. I want you guys to know there could be some sort of reversal or increased volatility for AGIX. Just type that in. So we saw the symmetrical triangle squeeze. Are we going to be seeing a price move back to the upside? Man, we very well could. This is a tough one. This really is, because price was at 68 cents. So let's just do one more thing on AGIX, folks. If you guys haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. And we'll do live streams more often. For those of you guys that don't know, the markets move in 45-degree angles. So what we're going to do is throw up a Gone fan. And I'm curious to see if price has broken out of the fan on this. Just bear with me 1 second here. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Okay. And would you look at this? So when we threw up this Gone fan, price action came right up to the edge of this Gone fan. And the most bullish part about the Gone fan, folks, is that when we break a downward Gone fan, and when we break out of that, we could be in some very bullish momentum. So right now, what am I seeing on AGIX? I'm seeing a very nice bull flag pull. This thing is erect, just like your grandpa after he took a little shot of Viagra. My guess is we're going to see this thing flag out. We're going to see this thing maybe form a symmetrical triangle. Get this price a little bit closer to this Ichimoku cloud, because right now, price action, too far from this Ichimoku cloud. So I think that we could see a little bit of consolidation here towards the cloud, and hopefully we see some Elliott wave theory maneuver to the upside, folks. I really hope that for AGIX. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button. I truly appreciate it. I got bull market vibes, man. Let's look at the next one here. Let's just see. Looks like... Okay, somebody grabbed up near. I like near. I like near. I'm not a fan of... maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Near. Near. Okay, I'm thinking of the other Near. NEAR. So Near, this is like a metaverse or something. Okay, I haven't heard of this. But yeah, I'm seeing right now, man, there could be some sort of inverse head and shoulders that is forming. We're looking at this on the daily. But the reason I think that there could be some sort of inverse head and shoulders that is forming is there seems to be somewhat of a neckline that may or may not be forming. Ah, man, looks like it's getting kind of rejected at the daily. We are seeing these lows get higher and higher, but it's not good to see this thing kind of get rejected at the daily or at this trend line here. And then the 50 moving average. So it's got a little bit of work to do. It's in a symmetrical triangle squeeze. Within the next few days, it might give another crack at this Ichimoku cloud. But it tried to enter this Ichimoku cloud when it was just too thick. But I do think that you might be seeing this with Near. If you see this thing starting to break lower than maybe 18, 20 cents, maybe 19, 20 cents, it could be getting ready to form maybe some sort of a descending triangle or something like that. Let's look at the next one here. All right. Moon River. Okay, we'll check that one out in just a second here. And you should drop me the ticker on that. Let's just see here. Okay. Appetite Doctor doesn't know what he's talking about, I guess. Not agree with you anymore. Okay, go and study the RSI. Oof. Hope your weekend is going well. Yeah, drop me the ticker for Moon River, Hoshi. We'll check out VRA. Okay, so mover. All right, so we'll look at VRA to the dollar. Oh, man. Very classic, very classic. I'm liking this. So right now, we are seeing that there is a very prevalent resistance line here. The fact that this price action on this daily is trying to really move through this this thick part of the Ichimoku cloud has me super, kind of worried. Like, I think we're going to see a retracement here. I do think that we could see I do think that we could see this maybe fall back down to this 0.0027 cent level. Maybe somewhere in this neighborhood. But I do think that there is this amazing chance for some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern to form out. And then we may, in fact, form some sort of Elliott wave theory move to the upside. We'll look at CKB here in just a second as well, folks. And we'll look at Crow again. So that's kind of where I'm at with this RSI on the daily relative strength index. It's pretty overblown, so it's due for a little bit of a pullback. But I do think that it is what it is. I think that we'll see this maybe come right up to this 0.0038-ish cent level. So that'd be interesting to see. Let's look at Mover, and then we'll cover Crow, and then we're going to cover CKB again. Mover. I hope this thing moves upwards. Seller? Okay, we can look at seller too. All right, so when we look at Mover, looks just exactly like the ICP chart. I mean, it really does. I know nothing about this. Project. But clear as day, I am seeing a falling wedge form. And this is quite a bullish pattern to be seen, especially when it's out over such a long time frame. Right now, we are seeing the price just move. It's got a great opportunity to really cut through this thinner part of the Ichimoku cloud. So maybe we'll see something like this happen. I do think Mover could be on its way up to like this $10-ish range. Let's just throw down a little Fibonacci extension here. Yeah, so if we see price continue to the upside, we will see this 50 moving or this 200 moving average kind of curve like this. And this is the daily. And we might not see this happen until mid February, somewhere in there. But what's interesting is we'd be right up around this 127-ish level. That's a very popular level for traders to sell bags at and things like that. But it would be awesome to see Mover reach up to this $12.50-ish level. So I'm kind of bullish on Mover right now, just simply from what I've seen. We got a nice point here, nice point here, nice point here. So, I mean, we've got two different sets of support and resistance areas. Price is ready to move. So I think we're going to come up to this 127, folks. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe. If you see me going live, ask me about your coins. A lot of these coins, I'm not really familiar with, but I'll take a peek at anything. And, we can kind of keep an eye on what's going on with your project. Weekly, here's Mover. This 50 moving average. I mean, man, we could easily see price come right up to this $21-ish level. So maybe a 3X, not financial advice. All right. We did do ICP already. We'll come back in. We're going to hit crypto.com now. And then we're just going to do a recap on that. And then we're going to do a recap on CKB. And then we're going to do a recap on... we got to do seller. We got to do seller first before we do. We got to do seller first before we do crypto.com again. Yeah, so seller here, man, very similar situation. What I like about this chart right now on seller is we can now start tracking the 200-day moving average. So this thing was right here. So we did get a nice death cross on the weekly charts for seller back at the end of December. Now, a lot of people think, folks, I've got a great video on this as well, but a lot of people think just because you see a death cross happen, oh my God, they think time to start buying up puts, time to start going short on everything. But here's the deal. A good majority of the time, especially on higher time frame charts, like the weekly, like the daily, whenever we start to see, especially on the weekly charts, whenever we start to see these death crosses happen, we see the price pull a reversal. And I'm going to show you this in just a second on Bitcoin and how it pulls reversals. But right now, seller network, we got a nice thin spot in the Ichimoku cloud, thinnest spot. So I'm hoping we see price trajectory lead up through this channel. Now that we got the death cross out of the way on the weekly chart, we are seeing seller really start to take off. So I'm thinking 50 moving average, right? I'm hoping that we see price action maybe come up and break through that, in Elliott wave theory formation. And maybe we'll see a little bit of a dip once it hits this 200 moving average. And the 50 moving average will presumably be trading right along this area. This would allow price action to breathe for a second and then make its ascent through the Ichimoku cloud. And by consequence, we would have a very nice inverse head and shoulders with a very clean neckline. I know that chart looks scribbly and squiggly. I'll kind of just do something like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping happens with seller. So I'm bullish on seller right now. I've got a couple other good friends that kind of chart seller and things like that. Look for some resistance on seller around 2.5 cents, somewhere in that neighborhood. Let's look at crypto.com now. And here we are. Actually, we're going to just take a quick peek at Bitcoin because like I was just saying on the whole death cross thing on the weekly chart, this is market cap dominance. Like I was just saying, you're going to learn something here. A lot of times, folks, these death crosses don't necessarily mean, a bad thing is happening, especially on these longer charts, higher time frame charts, things like that. So here's here is somewhat of a death cross. This 200 moving average was kind of like right down here. Price came down, hit this 200. It was off to the races. But here is another example. On the weekly, maybe we should look at this daily chart. I think the daily would be better to really illustrate this. So here is a death cross right here. Price got a little bit lower. Here's another death cross right here. It kind of symbolized the bottom was in. Let's look at some other death crosses on Bitcoin. Here's a death cross. It was really close to the bottom. Here's another death cross. Bottomed out, price took off. So you guys can kind of see my point here. Here's another death cross. Price reacted violently to the upside. So let's just look at crypto.com finally. We're going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. So shout out to all of you guys here in the chat. So crypto.com, I feel like I was looking at a different chart here. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't. You guys can see I was doing some harmonic stuff on this chart here. Bear with me 1 second. We're just going to re-pull this up. Here's crypto.com. Crypto.com, you know what? Crypto.com went through so much FUD. And I'm not sure what's going on with crypto.com the last week, but this thing is down in the dumps. Holy cow. Price action, in my opinion, is just, it's too far away from this Ichimoku cloud. We're looking at the 12-hour. So I'm thinking we're seeing this bear pennant form, but price action to me is just too far from this Ichimoku cloud. So I'm hoping that we see crypto.com kind of bounce up and target. Man, what is going on with this chart? Oh, this is the wrong chart, folks. This is the FTX chart. What the hell? So this is still stuck in my... Oh my God, I was getting worried there. I thought we just covered this. All right, here we go. Yeah, but as I was saying, crypto.com went through a shitload of FUD and it survived. So for those of y'all degens out there still using exchanges to store your stuff on, I'm kind of at this point right now. Whatever exchange can survive this last bear market might be an okay exchange to kind of keep your crypto on very short term if you absolutely have to. But we're seeing crypto.com on the daily, a little overbought on the RSI, but we are seeing a very, very nice bull flagpole. We are seeing what looks like or what appears to be some sort of bull flag. And I do suspect that we may, in fact, see price really reach right up to about this 10-cent level here. So I do think that, crypto.com, it's definitely on a nice run. There could be also a very nice inverse head and shoulders that is forming that will take us to the next level up to 10 cents. Right now, I don't care if crypto.com really flags out or lags or even drops back down to let's just say 6.5 cents, because I know that by the end of January, unless this thing goes straight down, by the end of January, we will be above the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart, which is extremely, extremely bullish. So yeah, I'm thinking crypto.com is going up to 10 cents here. Oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, big shout out to you, brother. Run away from the overseas tether casinos. Yeah, I agree. I really do agree with that. Yeah, let's look at CKB again. And CKB it's in the same kind of pattern as the crypto.com. We're seeing this bull flag. That is usually a good indication that the price trend will continue. However, this Ichimoku cloud here is kind of too far away. I would like to see CKB maybe rally a little bit more, but it might not. We're going to just clear this really quick. And I'm hoping that on this weekly chart that we get CKB to come up and test this 50 moving average at about a half cent. Tales from the crypto, that wrong chart. That almost made me sell my crow. Oh my God. Yeah, I got to go in and update my charts, folks. So if we see CKB come up and maybe retest this 50 moving average, kind of dip back down, find its way through this Ichimoku cloud, we could get this inverse head and shoulders here. Since we got OB1 in here, we're going to take a peek at eGold because I know this is his baby. And we'll just kind of look at this. All right. So last time I was doing TA on eGold. We are talking about this harmonic pattern that was out here. And I had kind of wondered if we were going to come down and hit this 161.8 at about $29.88. Turns out it was close. 32 bucks. So I'm glad to see it didn't go all the way down that far. We're on the weekly chart. You know what? This looks kind of good. Really, it does. This is a very nice thin part of this Ichimoku cloud that has formed. And we're really seeing eGold kind of in this falling wedge pattern. It's a very prevalent falling wedge. So with that said, this is usually a good sign that we are about to see some bullish things happen. And if we see a nice price rally, maybe into March or April on eGold, we got this 50 moving average that's going to kind of curve like this. If the price continues to kind of break out and climb up to this 50 moving average. So, hey, I think a fair price, 75 bucks on this, might be possible. And it's interesting that we get the 127. This is a very common resistance point for traders to kind of not dump their bags, but reverse positions, things like that. So I do think that if that does happen, we could see potentially, maybe some sort of inverse head and shoulders or something like that happen, where we see eGold kind of propel to the upside, even maybe like a cup and handle to the upside. But this is looking very bullish, in my opinion. As long as we don't have any more of these crazy catastrophic events that just seem to keep plaguing the crypto industry, I think this is going to do just fine. Parabolic daily chart. We're seeing this thing really come up and test this upper trend line at about 43 bucks. I want to see eGold carefully squeeze its way into like a pennant pattern to get price action above this Ichimoku cloud. And on the daily chart, that's going to be very bullish. And I do think that we could be experiencing another next leg up, probably to test this 200 moving average somewhere around this $50-ish range. And really, you could be experiencing another inverse head and shoulder style event that happens from there. Yeah, that is what it is. Let's see here. Really, folks, that's about all I got. We're about 3 minutes over. Big shout out to all of you guys for being here. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be a part of these live streams. Ask questions about cryptos that you're interested in, and we'll pull them up on the charts and give them a high-level overview. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful week ahead of you, and we'll see you all on the next video.